Hello, hello, hello. It is my Friday at 2:59 p.m. I'm a minute early. What's all that about? What's all that about? We better wait for a minute. It's 3 p.m. right now, so now we can start. How you doing on your Friday or maybe your Saturday, depending where you are in the world? Let me go ahead and put the automatic camera movements. I hope you're doing good, doing well. Made a fatal mistake. Not a fatal mistake. But I didn't put anything in my hair. So the fan may be blowing it around. But there we go. Who have we got in the chat? We've got a superstar, a mind master in Tanya here. Hello, hello to you. Happy Friday. We have Cheryl all the way in Australia on your 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Welcome back, my friend. Going to work on finishing my documentation, but I'm listening. Well, it's great to have you here, Davy. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, by the way. Hey, Linda. Exhausted, but listening in bed. No problems at all. Because it is almost your Saturday. Hey, Med. Welcome back, as always, on your Friday, all the way in Richmond, London. And it's Denmark for you, Linda, right? Is that correct? I try to remember where everyone is. I do my best. Hey, Caroline, all the way in England. Happy Friday to you. And we have Mina here as well. Welcome back as always. Oh, like Davy. I like it. I have to remember that. Davy. Davy. What I've got to do is, because you got no profile picture, that's a little bit trickier. If you want to remember someone's name, you visualize them with their name on their head, their forehead, a few times. So it's Davy. Davy. Not what did I say? Davy. 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 I'll remember. I'll remember. It's in here now. It's locked in. Davy. Okay, yes. And Davy, where are you again? I know you've told me once before. Nice. It's a bit of a cliffhanger. Pick up my... I don't know. I know you're in America. I meant more than that. I remember the America side. So we've got some... Oh, hey, Kevin Long. Welcome back. How's the new car? I remember that. Atlantic Seaboard. What the goodness? Atlantic Seaboard? This sounds interesting. Oh, okay, you're on that side. So does this mean the East Coast? Ah, nice. Mr. C is sunbathing. Remember, I've got to remind you of some breaking news. Mr. Sebastian is doing well. He's not with me at the moment. But he's doing great. I spoke to his mother today. Yeah, there was a bit of a mix-up. Not today, though. I have them all. This one's actually almost empty. Being good on the hydration front. But we're good. No issues. The Mid-Atlantic. So cryptic. Breaking news! I don't know. Sometimes I have to delay some of my releases because I get copyright claims and it takes a bit of time to let them go. Was it General Manifestation? I can't even remember. Got the one for, because we did two, right? One for the manifesting partner is out. No. But tomorrow it's released. 3 p.m. Pacific. It says it's being released. So that's pretty cool. Just in time. By a day. Ish. Pleased to hear they are in sync. Yes, that's a rare thing. An 8-hour drive. Whew. I don't like those 8-hour drives. Us in the UK are like, that's forever. Ready to learn. You get to learn. That's the way. So, one bit of breaking news. Ready?
Are you ready to transform your life?
Okay. Oh my god.
News.
Okay. Let's start that again. Dum dum dum. Okay. I pressed the wrong buttons.
Breaking news.
Okay, first up on today's news, if you go to your Hypnosis app, I will do so now. I will do so right now. New 4-hour sessions released. 4-hour sleep sessions are now on the app. We have an ADHD one, a fear of success one, a guilt release, a healing one, jealousy release, public speaking. If you want to be a big, powerful public speaker, gotta see your words right though. I think I added suggestions for that. Also, self-consciousness, self-sabotage, and social phobia. That is now out on the app. You open it and there's a little notification. And then all you do is you click the X, go to your sleep sessions, not section. Look, right at the top. ADHD. It's all alphabetical. So there we go. One bit of breaking news. Another bit of breaking news.
Breaking news.
That graphic didn't go up. I've got a bat. I got a little baby bat. As in the animal. Right above my door. That's another bit of breaking news. One more? One more? And if you have other breaking news, let me know. That tomorrow or Sunday, there is a hurricane passing by or near San Diego. And I am, hey Ed, great to have you here. I am in San Diego, California. No, as in the animal, the flying ones. I guess a bat can fly, physical bat, but no, the animal. Just realized, people said I was Dracula or a vampire. How weird is that? Just recently been talking about that. A couple of people left a comment saying I sound like a vampire, and now I have a bat above my door. Oh, there we go. Even Mina said it. Well, Bruce would work because Bruce the Bat. Billy the Bat. I don't know if it's a female. So what about an old name? Bernice, I guess you don't hear it much anyway. Bernice. Bernadette. I didn't ask. So, bit of breaking news. And there's a Hurricane Irene as well, my goodness. But, yeah, we've got warnings saying be prepared. I've been in a hurricane, or kind of in a hurricane before. That was Hurricane Andrew, which was my first time going to America. I was like 10 years old or something. And that was a big hurricane in Florida. I was on I think I've said it before, but I was on a ride and all this smoke appeared. I thought it was a part of the ride, but no, I got struck by lightning. We had to leave. I was at the Epcot Center. Whatever that one's called. Yes, there is. And a sleep version as well. Baseball the Bat. Bartholomew. Don't hear that name around much, do you? Beatrice. Yeah, baby bat. It looks like a baby bat. But I was concerned about it. You ready? I took a photo. It's a little baby bat. Look at it. It must be about this big. I don't know. So I've contacted the relevant people because I don't know what it's, if it's normal. I've never had a baby bat outside my place before, so I've contacted the right people. So I don't know if they'll try to remove it, because I don't know if it needs to be moved, you know, like to be saved or to like rehoused, relocated. So I have reached out. Breaking Bad. Hey Eddie, great to have you here. Welcome. Hope you're well, Eddie. I have seen it. That was pretty good. I liked it. Yeah. I think it's only happened like years and years and years ago. That's the one. That's where I was. That was one of the places where I wanted, I just, when I first came to America when I was that age, like 10 or so, I was like, I want to live in America, and I wanted to work on the Epcot in the English section because they have all the countries, and I thought, well, that'll be easy. I'm English. I mean, just gotta act English. So I just do that. I thought they might have me. You'd think, right? Because I know it is like typhoon in, like, say, Australia and New Zealand and, you know, that of the hemisphere. But I don't know. I have no idea. But it's meant to be here tomorrow, I think. My goodness, Tanya. That ban button. That ban button's so close there. Yes. It was very serious. I was talking to my mum about this. We went to a miniature golf, and because we didn't know too much about it, but we went to a miniature golf course in the evening. We went back to return the clubs, and all the staff went home. They didn't even tell us. They were like, nope, we're out of here. But yeah, they were kind of, I remember as a kid, like, seeing them just watching the news just in case, because of course in England we don't have tornadoes, hurricanes. We have a gale which will blow down like a tree or something. But yeah, it was a really big one. But just like, we had an effect of it because there's all the lightning, the thunder, torrential rain and wind, but we weren't obviously in it, just the outskirts, I guess. But yeah, the staff just went home, didn't even let us know. Ah, awesome. Maybe I'll stay. I also, when I was a kid, when I went to Spain, there was I go to like the beach, and they had like all the you know, like the banana boat, jet skis, paddle boat things, and I was like, I want to do that for a living, just be on the beach all day. So I thought about living in Spain, and that could be my next destination. Stay in America, be in Spain, who knows? But they all contained the ocean, which I like. I was born in Cambridge, stayed there the majority of my life. I did 2 years in Liverpool because my girlfriend at the time was going to university there, so I thought, hey, I'll just go up there for a couple of years. Then I came back to Cambridge. Then I went to Thailand for a couple of months twice, and then I came out to America about 7, 8, 9 or so years ago. But I am originally from Cambridge, England, which I would say is the southeast. Well, the footballs, that's a little bit different, right? Because that's just a hemisphere. But you're just across, well, I'm across the pond. But it's football. People who play American football rarely use their foot, other than to run. I went there a number of times, mainly when I was showing friends or family. Not really friends. Because they didn't come to visit in Austin. But yeah, it was super awesome. So if you don't know, right near downtown there's this bridge, and all the tourists kind of gather there, and there's like the water underneath, and they have like these little boats with tourists on, as in mainly you know, like kayaks. And at night all these bats just fly everywhere from underneath the bridge, and it's like as it's like getting to dusk. If you ever seen the Batman movie, you know when he's like falls in the well, and all the bats go, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There is. There is. It was awesome to see. Ah, nice. Well, that's what we were after. Nice bit of sun for you. Really loved going to Denmark. It was pretty cold when I went there, but I loved seeing. I think we've said this to you before, Linda. The bikes with the kids in a big space kind of thing. It was really cool. It is. And I would say colleges. You have lots of colleges there. You have, obviously, Stephen Hawking was there. Sir Isaac Newton, I think. Yeah, I never really appreciate it until I go back now to see all the colleges, like Clare's College is a famous one, King's College. I'll just say Queen's College, maybe there's one of those as well. But all I ever got to was a regional college, not those posh ones. Nice. Yeah, so if you don't know, Cambridge and Oxford every year have a boat race, as in, you know, like the rowing boats. It's a big thing. I think Cambridge lost quite a while. Is Cambridge like the Yale? Yes. And Oxford. And Oxford is. That's why there's such a big thingamajig. Hey, my friend. You won't get banned. Although, someone tried to, as we know. Correct. Okay, I'm catching up. Yeah. Okay, now I'm caught up. Turing was there, which means the Turing test, right? That's right. That's the one you mean? The Turing test, which was, you know, that movie about AI. I can never remember the name. Yeah, lots of famous people. Like, even like people won't know, but Stephen Fry and all those comedians were, I think, at Cambridge as well. Yeah. Anyway, that's the news today. We've got new 4-hour hypnosis sessions out on the app right now, like self-sabotage, healing, and Hurricane is near my place. Probably tomorrow. Hopefully it all will be fine. And I've got a bat outside my door. Davey says, my son is a rower on the crew team. Nice. Hugh Grant, Rowan Atkinson. If you don't know Rowan Atkinson, you might know him of Mr. Bean. It's a classic TV show. But I don't think all the people in America and so on, or around outside of England, would know, other than the Mr. Bean movies. Okay. So it is 24 minutes past the hour. Let's have a nice short stream podcast. If you're new here, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, 11 p.m. United Kingdom. We usually have like a 15 to half hour chat, and Johnny English as well. Yeah, that's right. You should look back at the Stephen Fry, Huey, who plays the Doctor? Everyone in America, who plays that famous doctor TV show? House. Well, a lot of people didn't even know that he's actually English, and also he's a crazy cool comedian, actor, like skit shows and so on. I don't know that one, but my granddad is called Gerald. Just a bit of information. Yes, true. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even imagine. I've been to a Cuban wedding before. I know totally different, but it's totally different culture to me. And that was crazy cool. Like, party. Hugh Laurie. There we go. Yeah. So, I'm sure people know now, but in the beginning they were kind of confused that he was actually, they thought he was American, but he's actually English. Yeah, my mum, I mean, I used to watch as well, but my mum's favorite show was Absolutely Fabulous. You ever seen that one? Which is, no, is that Dawn French? That's Saunders though, right? Not Dawn French. Oh my goodness, we're going back memory lane. My granddad, Gerald, I don't know why I'm even saying it weird. Gerald, had the TV cassette tapes and used to love it. That was my favorite. The wartime one was my favorite though. It was like World War. I can't talk today. You gotta watch Black. Didn't really care for the other ones, but I did really like the thingamajig. I didn't mean to do that comment. I just want to change the cameras. Yeah, you must. Young Ones was another one with like Rick Mail. And the other one they did later, bit of a rude word. Well, it's not, but it's called Bottom. Ab Fab, that's right. Yeah, my mum loved that show, and of course, therefore, I loved it as well. I liked it. But yeah, Patsy was a funny one. Baldrick. Oh my goodness, we're going back. Goes forth. There we go. I have a cunning plan. That was his pretty much favorite catchphrase, and it was a terrible plan. I don't think we should even do a podcast. We're just doing like memory lane TV shows of England, which I grew up with. So we don't even need to do it. But I was actually looking. Correct as the pilot, right? Hurrah! Something like that, you used to say. Episode 587. 587. I'm not even... Well, I am in the mood for the podcast. But, that'll be Stephen Fry, I guess, right? But you had the other big TV show which had, like, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean in it as well. But I cannot remember the name. It's a little bit before my time, really, growing up. That sketch show. Unless you mean another one, because I know Stephen Fry, I mean, they did so many. Yeah, Stephen Fry. Crazy intelligent guy as well. 857, correct. Yes. Totally different from the American Office, and a lot better in my opinion. David Brin. 85. We can carry on the chat afterwards about that stuff if we want to, but I want to be respectful of our time together, so let's make this maybe a shorter episode. Let's see what happens anyway. And we're talking about... You got to remind me, what am I talking about? Got it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. But let's get to it. I'm gonna... I know that was abrupt, but hey, it's okay. It's okay. We can be abrupt. It's Friday. Yes, we are winging it tonight. We're going to see what happens as it happens. Okay. I've got to remember my buttons. Ready? Steady? Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 857, and today we're talking about setting standards. The standards of success, of achieving all the things that you would like out of life. Otherwise, that's just my bottle right there I hit, if you heard that in the mic, that if you don't set your standards, society, people in your life will begin to set them for you. If you think about it, that absolutely makes sense, because growing up, who set the standards for our life? Because standards are the things which are important to us. So in other words, our values, right? The values that was held within this container of our mind and our body, which was instilled upon us growing up. So in other words, if you had a high value for money growing up, like you lived in lots of affluence, you may treat money in a certain way. You might have a healthy relationship with it. Or maybe if you grew up in scarcity and poverty, you may actually have another kind of association, another value. Maybe it's fearful, maybe it's scary, maybe you have, I'm never gonna live in poverty, so you do the absolute opposite. But those standards were installed upon us based on our environment growing up, from usually it's our parents, but it could be the like teachers, it could be even growing up like society, that we set certain standards for ourselves. And if we carry on those standards, it will cause us to keep on repeating. We almost mirror, like life almost mirrors back the standards that we set ourselves, because that standard for what we want out of life or how we want to be in life, we start to look for it. We begin to look for that, and it kind of mirrors back to us. We delete, we distort and generalize based on that frame of view. So if your standard is low, as in you value yourself lower, as in I am not good enough, or I am not of value, or I'm not capable, well, of course, other people will be able to dictate that, because your values are not high enough, your standard or esteem is not high enough to be able to put out those strong boundaries. So it makes us very vulnerable if our standard of success is low, because other people will start to take advantage of it. And you'll probably know that. Like, if you don't have a high self-esteem right now, which many people don't in the world, so it means, number one, you're not alone. But if you do have that, you can probably go back in your mind and go, yeah, I can see where I've people pleased, or where I've tried to become a perfectionist, because I feel my standard is low, so I've got like over fulfill, over people please, over try to kind of please people. Or you may actually notice that the past, you've been mirroring certain relationships. Maybe the person who's not a good fit for you, maybe tolerating that mean boss, maybe not going for that job that you really, really want on your heart, but there's that part of you going, well, maybe I'm not good enough for it. And that causes a lot of issues. That causes us to feel worried, stressed, anxious, doubtful, really not fulfilling our potential. So how do we start to begin to change that? What can we do to be able to set up a different standard? Because right now, if our standard is low, that means society or people in our life are going to dictate that. You're going to go more and follow the crowd. You're going to do what is expected of you because society says so, or because your family says so, or because your partner says so. We need to be able to take a look in the mirror and go, actually, I need to take a stand. I need to take a stand for who I am as a person. Think about your outcomes. Think about the type of successes you want in life. Like, if you're not happy where you are with that present standard, and it could be with your health as well. I know that can be for me at times. Like, I really enjoy running, but is something that I need to keep on working upon when it comes to my health. Lose a few more pounds, get stronger, fitter, all of those types of things. But you've got to look in the mirror and go, am I really happy at this level of success? Because your standard will become your evaluation. Your evaluation will become your perception. And what you're perceived to be true, you project into your world. So what are you projecting as your standard? Be conscious of it. Like, usually it's just happening beneath the surface. Like, we don't really shine a light upon it. We don't really think about it. We become aware of maybe the symptoms of it, the consequence of feeling not good enough, and therefore I feel anxiety. I can be aware of that consequence because I feel anxiety or dread or worry throughout my day. Or you may know of the consequence because your financial situation isn't where you want it to be. Maybe you're in debt and getting more in debt, or maybe you get money but just spend money. Maybe you know the consequence of an unhealthy relationship. That is all there to be seen because that shows up. That's the mirror that is coming back at us. But if we want to be able to change that, what is mirroring back to us, we've got to change ourselves. So be conscious of the type of standards you've been setting. And I'm not trying to be mean by saying that you've been setting these standards to be in debt. You are setting the standards to have the bad relationships. I'm not saying that in a way. But there is a part of you, which I would say the unconscious mind in this case, which is setting and maintaining those standards. The standards that we decided upon at an unconscious level, based on the people or society or the events that we went through. And of course, that's good news though, because that means you have control of your standard of success. You don't have to be dictated by other people or society. You can stop that trend. You can stop that story. But in order to do so, you must consciously become aware of those standards. So you may look at every area of your life. Now, the typical ones are health, relationships, career, money, and then for others, it's going to be like personal development or maybe spiritual or religious. They're usually like the main of them. You can do subcategories of those, of course, because things are more unique. It could be specific, down and down and down and more specific. But as a general rule, you could probably weigh up those 4 or 5 or 6 categories and go, where am I setting those standards? Is my standard eating junk food? Is my standard sedation by eating or drinking too much? Is my standard when it comes to my relationship of attracting that kind of person? Where would you gauge yourself when it comes to having a high standard, like I want the best person in my life who's going to lift me up and I'm going to lift them up in the most beautiful, loving way because I'm worth it, compared to all the way down, say like a 0, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, and therefore these people are showing up in my life. And by relationship, like I said about kind of these categories, it could be your social friend group. It doesn't have to be just relationship, because sometimes if we don't feel good enough, we can actually attract friends who can take advantage. We can get great friends, by the way, who try to tell us differently, who always say, look, you're so much more than that person, or you deserve that job. So we can have the good friends as well, but sometimes we may attract friends which aren't really nurturing and supporting you and lifting you up. And you'll know those kind of people. Maybe you're more there for them than they are for you. Maybe when you have the times of conversations with them, you feel not lifted up and you kind of feel more let down by the end of it. But be conscious of these standards that you're setting, because those standards are becoming ingrained or are ingrained from years or decades, and you've got to become conscious of them. Don't run away from those standards. It's time to level up those standards. So ask yourself, well, if my standard in this category or more than one category of life or area of life or all of them is not where you want to be, consider where you want to be. Like, in order to know where you are, sometimes you got to know where you want to go to be able to see that difference, to be able to notice and observe even where the edges or the difference is. Because right now, this is my standard. This is what's showing up. So it's a bit hard to really see beyond that. So try to get clarity. Try to get clear on where you want to be, because now you're going to bridge that gap or become aware of that space and ask yourself this question: what kind of beliefs do I have in this present situation compared to if I were to imagine in my mind the high standards of success versus standards where I look after myself or I surround myself with good people, or my career or financial success? What kind of mindset, what kind of values will that future you be? Or the you which has that high standard of success? Notice the differences. Because now we know we've got this low standard as to where we are. Now we've considered where we want to be. Hallucinate as much as you can as if you had that success. What kind of standard would you be setting? What kind of things would you be saying? What kind of things would you speak into your life? How would you be nurturing? How will you be looking when you think of a relationship? The kind of person you'd like as a relationship or friendship group and so on. What kind of job would that you have, and what kind of thoughts would get you to that place? Same thing for health, same thing for money, all of those things. Because maybe you're like, well, this present version of me, the lower standard of success and that I'm setting is like, money's a bad thing. It's the root of all evil. It comes and goes, or it just gets worse. Well, if you hallucinate the ideal you with a high standard of success, you may be saying different things. Like, money comes to me in known and unknown ways. I use money for good. I help people with it. I support people. I give to people because I just know it replenishes. Because that total different mindset, that thought set, that set of feelings as well, maybe the feelings of safety and abundance, maybe the love in a relationship, that lifting up once again. I know I'm going jumping around all these topics because it is a generalized standard of success. And remember, what we do in one area of our life, we tend to do in many other areas. So be conscious of the standard you've been setting yourself. Don't be sedated by it. Don't get sedated by other things to try to avoid it. Don't buy into what people think of you and their opinions. Don't buy into what society thinks of you for a moment. Consider this is where you presently are. This is where I presently want to be. And notice the differences. In order to become the person you want to be, you have to give up who you presently are. Now, I don't mean like give up everything about you, but you've got to be willing to give up who you are now, to sacrifice, to become the person you want to be. How long does that take? For some, it could be days, moments when you have that realization. Some, if we have big goals and dreams, it can take weeks, months, or years, like to make millions of dollars per year. There is a time process to it. But once you start to recognize those differences, you have the ability to do something about it. Now, how would I go about it? Well, I always say, try to find the person who can get you there. Because you're getting out your own way. They've done it. They're a success of it. So therefore, you can work with them, model them. You can communicate with them. They can transform you without you having to do other things. Like, in other words, figure out by yourself. But on top of that, we have like the hypnosis app. You listen to the hypnosis sessions when you think of the differences of those two people, the present you and the you want to be. Notice what kind of fears and doubts you have, and then look for a hypnosis session. Listen to it as you go to sleep or in the day, or look at the podcast, like the free section within the app. Or maybe one of the audio programs. Maybe set up a routine for one of those morning meditations. Because what you do in the beginning of your day, you'll start to echo out throughout your day and more likely follow that same trend. And of course, there's many other ways of doing this: self-reflection, meditation, preserving unconscious learnings. I like hypnosis because to me, it gets to the root of the matter, because that's where the issue lives. But what we have to really do is to begin to set that standard. Sometimes I even say nothing less than this. That's my goal. Nothing less than this. And the reason why I say that to myself is usually, I remember, I think I said this a while ago actually, that I had a certain level of success growing up. I had this real specific benchmark. Like, that's what it was gonna be. And at school, it was trying to get the grade C. If I could only get a C, then I'd be happy. But the problem with that, I got C's or below because that was my standard of success. So of course I'm gonna hit it or get less than it. Whereas I'm sure if I began to broaden that standard to maybe a B or an A, not on falsities or anything like that, but if I have that standard, now I've got to think, well, how am I gonna get there? Like, I've got to up level. So if we think about that as an example, maybe when you think of your present standard, you get that or everything below, but when you step it up, you're going to get that and maybe a little bit less, but it's going to be sure better than the standard you've been setting yourself. It starts with you, it comes from you, you get to do the work. Remember, keep saying that sentence. I get to do the work, I get to work out, I get to live, I get to love, I get to raise my standard. I don't have to allow other people or society to set that for me. And it's going to be hard in the beginning, especially if you're doing this by yourself, but it is possible. If I can do it, other people can do it. It is absolutely possible. But it starts with you beginning to consider a different paradigm, to stretch yourself, to think of who do I need to become to get to be that person? What do I need to stop doing which isn't serving me? What can I be conscious of when it comes to the relationships, and how can I start to change that? What small steps can I do today which will become the big leaps tomorrow, next week, next year? All of those things will begin to happen. It just takes that bit of momentum, that consistency. And I always say discipline creates freedom. Freedom doesn't create discipline, but when you get the discipline, it will give you the freedom in abundance, in health, and relationships. So do the work and acknowledge the differences and go out and get it done. Just get it done no matter what it takes, because you don't want to be echoing this present set of standards to maybe children in your life, like if you have children, because they will be modeling. They will see you as that example. And of course, if you don't have children, you don't want to get to the end of your life and go, oh my goodness, I set the bar way too low. I could have done so much more. I could have had like so much more happiness and excitement, rather this kind of guilt and grief that I did not live and love life. So if you start now, some people might be actually going, well, I wish I started this when I was a kid. Well, everyone's gonna think that. But it always reminds me of the best time to plant a tree is maybe X years ago, but the second best time is right now. You get the opportunity in every single moment to start to dictate a new theme, a new story. Say it out loud, declare it, decide it, write it down, put it everywhere in your place if need be. But declare that you're going to get there. This is your new standard. I'm gonna get this or something better. And you never know, you may be surprised, but reality will start to mirror something back differently. For when you begin to have that new benchmark, you begin to create new assumptions about yourself and life, which are so much greater. Those become confirmations because you see them back and go, yeah, that's exactly why I want this. And those will also become your projections, and therefore you'll like mirror back more of the life, or even better than you can imagine, mirroring back to you. So let's get to it. Let's do what has to be done. It can be fun, it can be exciting, it could be mind-blowing when it comes to the results that you'll be getting. And of course, if you do need specific help and you're invested and ready to to get this gone and get to do the work and want me to work with you through that, I do actually have an 8-week system where we get rid of the I am not good enough, the I am not worthy, and get you into a place of I am deserving and capable to have the life that you want, to have all those areas leveling up. If you want that personalized help, that customized experience, you can go to josephclough.info/talk. You'll fill out an application and then you'll book a time on our schedule. It'll be a one-to-one session, or it's not just a session, but it's like an evaluation. I like to think it's like I'm not a doctor, but when people go into these calls with us, we want to evaluate where you are, what is the problem here, and if we can solve it, we may invite you into the program. And we, of course, like I said, there's an investment there. We're very protective, and you got to do the work, couple hours a week, and we'll make sure we can support you each step along the way. And by we, you get to work with the people within my ecosystem, and the people in the group are just absolutely amazing as well. They lift each other up, they support one another, and that means we feel seen, heard, and felt. We're moving together as a group, and we call it a family as well. So you can go ahead and apply at josephclough.info/talk. But like I said, it's not the only way. There are many other ways out there. I just believe that is the best way, because that's what I do. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm just going back. I know you've been chatting amongst yourself, so I'll skip those in case. That's the way. Hey CG, great to have you here. You didn't get banned. You see, yeah, it's been in your mind now. Right? We talked about that just now. We're mirroring it back. But yes, it was just a sketchy internet. But great to have you here, Christine. Welcome. I'll have to remember that. You attract what you are. Exactly. And thank you for your kind words. What if I was actually American or another country and there's just all put on? What if that was the truth? I'm like just a voice actor. I thought, people like the English accent, so I've got to change my accent. I think I saw some chats in there, but it's okay. I don't listen. I don't read the chats. They're right in front of me, but I never look at them. Awesome. So pleased. Thank you, Cheryl. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind. Yep. Oh my goodness. That'll do for you, my friend. Quitter. The puns. Tanya, you're just full of puns. I actually cannot do an American accent. I actually looked on YouTube yesterday of how to. Not yesterday, like last week. Because I was just curious, because I just cannot do an American accent. I don't actually remember that one. Yeah, there's been stories of people who have done that like in real life at work, and then they just had to keep on going. There we go, my friends. Yes. Yeah, especially if it's one person who can do all these different accents. Well, if, like you obviously said regional, like even in England, we have so many different, like from when I was living in Cambridge, 30 minutes down the road could have a totally different accent. So of course, in England, more often, the more north you get, the thicker the accent is. But I would say there's far more accents in England than there are in American accents, despite us being fitting in California. That's what I would say. There's so many different kinds. So, yeah, it's a bit hard to do an American accent. You'd have to go, well, what region do I want to speak? Do I want to speak Californian or like New York or Southern? But thank you, my friend. We all think we don't have an accent. I think. Yes. That's actually happened more than once as well. Even like there's been people who've hit their head and they've actually spoken like in a language or a real heavy accent they just couldn't do before. So 3 different ones in Philly. Now, and also America makes it kind of interesting as well, because it's a bit of a boiling pot. So you would have, like, say in like New York, you've got a lot of, say, Irish influences, got some Italian, you've got the Hispanic, and like, so then you get all these different mixes as well. So yeah, there's kind of interesting. Accents are interesting. So you got own it. So yeah, I'm gonna like this accent. For if you didn't know, for those who don't know, that's in Scotland, and that's like Glasgow, Glaswegian. Just in case people wanted to know, like in America. Oh, I get it now. You said, "Are we winging it tonight?" A Geordie accent, why aye, man? Why aye? That's my Geordie accent. Yeah, I know. I remember. I didn't watch Saturday Night Live. Was never in England, but I've seen that one as well. It was funny. It's like the Malibu kind of area, right? Kate Winslet, the actress, is pretty good. Yeah. Is that even in England? Wasn't when I was there. Yeah. People comment on my English accent like water. 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 Oh, is that an American? Water. That's my real bad American accent for water. Water. Woota. Woota. I'll have some Woota, please. Woota. I can imagine that kind of being a bit French Canadian, right? Woota. Woota. I'll have some Woota, please. I don't know. Depending. For anyone out in South Africa. South African. That's my pronunciation of South Africa. But I don't like the accent. Like in the movie Blood Diamond. It's kind of a cool accent. Have a good one, my friend. You sleep well. I've not seen that or heard of that. Because Boston would be like, you know, they go Boston, right? Big pronunciation. Water. Can I have some water, please? It's a very bad American accent. I know. I'm being honest here. I'm not good at an American accent. I'm just trying to sound it out as if it'd be... Because I think English, I might be wrong, the English people pronounce their T's more. Like water. Water. Can I have some water, please? Can I have some water, please? Yes, sir. Can I have some water? But then it goes a little bit Irish. Water. Can I have some water, please? Anyway. That's my... Really? Oh my goodness. Close enough. Well, that's pretty good. I thought I couldn't do any. Boston. If you're an Eastie from East Boston. Boston. How's the water in Boston? How's the water? See, that goes into Irish. Water. 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 It's like the low. I'm seeing it in my mind lower. Water. 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 Go a little bit more London. London tan. Rhodes Island. Road. I know you're saying Rhodes Island. Rhode Island even. Rhode Island. Water. Water. Anyway, I'm sure people are very bored of me trying to do accents. We've gone all over the show again on a Friday. It is more of a chill out, but we did do the episode. I will do the timestamps as well for those who want to skip the madness in the beginning and the madness at the end. That is good. For the German side, anyway. That is Boston. Park the car in Havant Yard? What's the Havant Yard? Park the car in Havant Yard. Yeah, we are having fun. So I got park the car in Harvard Yard. Harvard Yard. Harvard Yard. Harvard. Harvard. Yard. Oh dear. Park the car in Harvard Yard. Harvard. Harvard. Sound a bit Dutch. There you go. Well, that's the interesting about a lot of the South African has a lot of Dutch influence. Oh my goodness. Water. 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 Can I have some water, please, sir? Dankeschön. Yeah, I know. It's when you try, it becomes too conscious, where really, you just gotta not think and just say it. And Tihi, they was gun go huni. No. Oh my goodness. Please, sir, can I have some more, sir? My brother played Oliver. You have a good one. Have a great experience of the Italian wedding. Water. Cause you oughta. To find my shoes, they weren't there. I opened my closet to find my shoes, and they was gone. You have a good one, my friend. Thank you for being here. We will finish it right here. We will see if people stay and they get moved over to the live stream. I've kind of given up on the testing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I have set it up to move people over to the Positivity live stream. So thank you ever so much. I'll put the end screen for a moment, and then you'll maybe move over to the next one. Who knows? It's a Friday. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Linda, as well. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. Thank you, Med. Yeah. See you later. I need to go get some, what do I need to get? Water. No, water. I need to get some water. So I'm going to get some water now.